One of the hardest things to watch is a friend who is like going down a bad path. Either they're really depressed, they're heartbroken, they're like acting out, they're getting involved in a bad crowd, they're doing drugs, they're drinking too much, they're being slutty, or they're just being kind of an asshole. And you don't know what's changed. How do you help this person? Do you ditch them because they're kind of dragging you down socially and like also mentally? Because who wants to be around someone who's a downer? Nobody. Or like, do you even try to help them, which sounds overwhelming? So here's what you do. First of all, accept that you might not know the whole situation. Even if someone is your best friend since birth and you know their family and they know yours, you're always at their house, you just never know what goes on behind closed doors. And ironically, if something traumatic has happened to your friend, sometimes the best friend, like the people closest to them, they're the hardest to tell. I went through a really bad period a few years ago. I was very depressed. I was cutting myself. Like I had an eating disorder. Like I was in a bad way. And it was easier for me to tell like acquaintances because like their opinion mattered less to me than to tell my best friends because I didn't want this pall, this like specter of brokenness forever over me, you know, and our friendship. I didn't want them always to look at me as like, oh, Shallon, who's all fucked up. Like I didn't want that. And I wanted to be able to be like, cool, perfect Shallon to all my besties. So it was really hard to get help for that. And then ironically, like I wasn't getting help because the people closest to me didn't know. But some of them did. And they knew that something was wrong. They knew my behavior was erratic. And their responses started with just like confused to like shrugging to then annoyed with me because I was becoming such a wet blanket and being so bizarre to then just writing me off completely. There was literally one person who was like, hey, you're cutting yourself. And we know it. And I'm really worried about you. And that's all she said to me. And I was like, wow, I feel hurt. And I feel like these cries for help, because that's what it is. That's what a painful response, like drinking, sleeping around, being angry, withdrawing, whatever it is, those are all pain and trauma responses. And just to know that someone was listening, and just that someone noticed, meant that like my pain wasn't happening in a vacuum. It's clinically shown that the worst thing you can do to someone who is going through a crisis is say nothing. It's better to say maybe kind of the wrong thing than to just pretend like it's not happening. Because we all need to be heard. That's a human need. We need to feel heard and validated. So how do you actually help them? Say you can sit them down and being like, hey, I've noticed you've lost a bunch of weight. I noticed you're freaking out about food. I love you and I'm worried about you. You want to phrase it like that. I'm worried about you. I care about you. Not, you are really getting annoying with how much you're drinking. Like you're pissing everyone off. Because people feel even more like a burden, which makes them want to retreat. And then when people feel like they're a burden to the world around them, that's when people become suicidal. And we don't want that. So also accept that, you know, not only do you not know maybe something that's happened, maybe they were raped, maybe they were molested, maybe their dad is drinking too much, maybe their brother has cancer. You don't know. Also accept that you don't know how to fix them, and that's okay. Say, hey, I can't help. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm going to help you find a counselor. If you want, I'll start seeing a therapist too. We can be therapist buddies. It'll be totally fine. Or I'll go with you to your appointments and like hang out in the lobby if you want. We don't even have to talk about anything, but I'm here for you. That's what people need to know is I'm here for you. If they're dragging you down socially, that's okay. No one is going to ostracize you socially because you are helping someone who is in need. And if those people are ostracizing you, fuck those people. You don't want their good opinion because they have no good opinion. They're jerks, you know? But if someone is going down a bad path, like drinking, smoking, like bad things, then say like, look, I want to involve you in more positive activities and try to get them involved in things that you were involved in. Things will give them a sense of self-esteem, a sense of worth, and a sense of community, because those are the things that really help combat depression and trauma. For more on this, email me or message me on Facebook at Shallon Lester and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ShallonXO.